From social media to Capitol Hill, the common thread is condemnation. Earlier today, members of the Congressional Black Caucus spoke out about this on Capitol Hill, saying it's time to bring Boko Haram to justice.
We are anguished as mothers, grandmothers, and lovers of children that this is what the children, the girls in Nigeria are worth.
There is a special place in hell for somebody like him. Those who would prey on our children.
And women in the Senate sent a letter to President Obama writing in part, quote, "While we applaud the initial U.S. condemnation, we believe that there is much more the United States government should do to make clear that such an attack won't be tolerated." Joining me now is Senator Barbara Mikulski of Maryland. Senator, your name is one of the first on that letter to the president. What exactly do you want him to do?
Well, the women of the Senate are outraged, and we want to lend our voice and our clout to do all we can to rally the international community to search for these girls, bring them home safely to their parents, and apprehend this terrorist organization. I joined with Senator Sue Collins, and all 20 women of the Senate reached out to the president asking that we go to the UN, placing Boko Haram on the international UN terrorist list. This would freeze their assets, freeze their travel, and also begin for them to feel the pinch and the punch of economic sanctions, as well as calling upon the president to use all means at our disposal to work with the Nigerian government to find these girls.
Senator, what about the technical support being sent over by the White House and other agencies? Is that sufficient?
We believe that what the president is sending right this minute will enable the Nigerian government to find these girls. These are intelligence and FBI assets, as well as special units of the military. We need to find them in order to do the kind of rescue we need. These girls right now have been held captive for 23 days. Shakal is already bragging that he's going to sell them into sexual slavery or as child brides. We have to act swiftly, directly, but the Nigerian government has to also make sure the international resources can come in.
There's a lot of talk about what the White House can do and what the United Nations can do and some of these sanctions. What can Congress do?
Well, right now, the women of the Senate will be meeting with John Kerry in a few days to see exactly what Congress needs to do to be able to support our president and our international initiatives with both action and financial resources. We're looking at a range of things, from additional support from our government to what can Interpol do. You know, if we can look at trading art across the borders, we can certainly look to make sure we stop the trading of, children. This is an international crime. We need to treat this as a terrorist organization actually committing international crime. And I support the grassroots groups. Go in front of the Nigerian embassy. Make your voice heard to show that this is not celebrity chic or Congresswoman just writing a letter. We are determined to help these girls. We want the same effort to find them as we've used to find the lost Malaysian airplane.
And Senator, with this set of kidnappings, with recent violent attacks by Boko Haram, this group, but also by al-Shabaab and other African terrorist groups, does African terrorism deserve more of a review from Congress?
African terrorism deserves a review. We need to show that there is a pattern and practice to these organizations. But they always start with attacking the girls and using arguments based on what they consider their theology to be able to go after the girls. And I can tell you, if they go after the girls and say they can't learn to read, they will go after other terrorist targets, and it could reach the United States of America.
All right, Senator Barbara Mikulski, really appreciate your joining here and appreciate your stand on this.